This is JC from Higher Intelligence. Every week in our podcast, we cover technical aspects in conversations with experts in and around AI and its application for higher education. One of the things I wanted to do going forward is having the opportunity to drill down and double click in some of these technical terms, technical nuances, and more importantly, opening up and unveiling why these are so important. So today, our first mini lecture deals with agentic AI and context engineering. First, let's start with what is an agent. We speak of agentic AI, and one of the important departures is to look at its counterpart, a chatbot. Specifically, if you interacted with AI, you probably have seen a reactive chatbot. The experience in ChatGPT and Claude in which you ask, it answers, and the session ends. There's no memory. It feels like you're meeting your best friend every other week. It's a single generation type of prompt, one response. It looks like write me an email. On the other hand, agentic AI uncovers the role of an agent, a proactive and autonomous AI solution that is goal-oriented, not just answers. To achieve that, it needs to have memory. It remembers the past and learns patterns of your persona or your instances and your preferences. This also means that the agent is interactive in problem solving. What does that mean? It has a goal, it plans, enacts, and evaluates. As an example, an agent would answer the question, help me with this student in re-enrollment. To achieve this, an agent must work against 4 pillars. Number 1, it must receive an objective. This is called a goal. It does not just answer, it achieves a specific objective. Number 2, it will recall preferences in your history. This means that it has memory, and this memory is persistent, which means it goes across sessions. 3, it has tools and actions to execute. What does that mean? It knows how to send emails, it knows how to connect to databases and query them, it knows how to book meetings, it knows how to run code. And last but not least, it plans, it acts, it has a brain. It will break tasks into steps, it will adjust, and in these actionable steps, it will execute its agentic workflow. Our second topic that we've been covering throughout the past episodes deals with context engineering. Generative AI introduced the concept of a prompt engineering type of script. What does that look like? It looked like crafting an input to get the AI output that you wanted. We also learned that a good AI output required a really good prompt. This worked at the surface level in a message type. What does that mean? Write me a warm email to a student who missed 3 classes. Specifically, this type of input generating the specificity that you wanted on that output. Now, context engineering is more nuanced than that. What is it? It's making sure that AI has the right information first. The student, it's a freshman student. The student is a female student who is pursuing engineering as well. It works at the infrastructure level, which means data pipelines and in systems. This is why the good AI that we see today, it's hungry for context, and the context emerges from the wiring and the deployment of real-time information. So the type of context engineering thing that we see today, it's connecting a student's enrollment status, attendance records, financial aid history to AI before it writes. So that it can come and say that the engineering freshman student who is a female has a lapse in attendance, and as such, her financial aid will be compromised. The 4 pillars of context engineering deal around identity. Who is the student? Is the major, the year, the student? This is where the biodemographic data emerges. The second one is the behavioral aspect of the context. What do they have done recently? Have they opened emails? Have they looked at pages? Have their assignments been submitted? This is a really important aspect of context engineering because it allows us to understand the interconnectivity of 3 core systems. Your student information systems for perhaps bioacademic data, biodemographic data, your LMS to understand submission and in-class experiences, or your CRM to understand the behavior and the sentiment of communications. Our third component deals with the historical context. What is the pattern? I usually know that the student is engaged with a pattern of opening emails at a specific rate. I've known that the student has a sentiment in a style of writing emails. or of attending classes. And in such, we're trying to understand if there's changes in those behaviors. And last but not least, the institutional context. This is where rules apply that localize how your school or how the context of the academic institution behaves. In this case, deadlines, policies, financial aid, and resources available. Among these four, you start seeing the benefit of context engineering through identification of the context, the behavioral aspect of the context, historical aspect of the context, and the institutional context. So in 2026, what we know is that the AI that works has context, knows who it is talking to, knows what matters right now. And in doing that, one of the issues in trust that we've been seeing through AI hallucinations disappeared. Without context, AI has a chance to fabricate information. With context, it has a chance to make things right, move away from generic answers, and actually giving you things that are relevant. So, to wrap this up, agents are not chatbots. They pursue goals, they remember, they use tools, and they plan. Number two, an agent's loop is very simple. There needs to be a goal that leads into a plan, it acts and it verifies. And we repeat this until the objective is accomplished. To do really good AI, specifically agentic AI, we need context engineering. And this is the upstream work that makes AI usable in the real world. Really good context engineering stems from an identity, behavioral, historical, and institutional type of context. And in 2026, this is what makes the difference between good AI that works and good AI that hallucinates. Context is the key. Thank you, and I hope you appreciate this mini lecture in higher intelligence. Thanks for listening to Higher Intelligence. This show is part of the Enrollify network, home to the largest collection of podcasts in higher education. Enrollify is where higher ed goes to grow. You can find more podcasts, webinars, videos, blogs, and more. Visit Enrollify.org and subscribe to get new content sent directly to your inbox. Enrollify is brought to you by Element 451, the AI agent platform for higher education. Learn more at element451.com.